Greetz fruit family, it's the Living Fruit on YouTube. And today, I almost wanted to just put up a black screen, like something or somebody had died. Just 2 minutes of silence on the YouTube. I'm not a political person. Like, I don't really like politics. I'm not into politics. I don't understand it. I find it hard to comprehend. I'm more an arts and culture kind of person. But today's going to be a day that we're going to remember that Britain left the European Union. And as I'm here documenting my journey as a black woman in the UK, I think it's pertinent that I include this as part of that which I say I'm about to document. Particularly after I included in my vlog yesterday actually going to put an X in the box, yes or no, leave or remain. I ticked to remain. Stayed up last night watching on the TV and watching the remain vote lagging behind the leave vote, and I was like, oh my god, like really UK? Just incredulous. It's also pissed me off because I'm not big on voting. After Tony Blair decided to take the UK into war in Iraq for no reason, I didn't vote the following election. I actually marched. My son was small. We marched the streets of London against the Iraq war. And there was thousands of people on the street. I remember walking down Piccadilly and people hanging out the shop windows and the houses above the shops. It was crazy. I was like, wow, look, we're speaking, you know. And I remember my son got interviewed by someone with a mic and a camera. And he was like, we need to make love, not war. Bless him, he was like 6 or 8 or something. So I felt like we were speaking, we were being heard, and yet still the government took us into war. And I was like, they ain't listening to us. They're not listening to us. I'm getting really passionate about this. I didn't expect this to come from me, but bear with me. And after that election, I didn't vote. I literally just said, you're taking the mick out of me because you're not listening. I don't actually have a say. You're just pretending I have a say. So yesterday, against my better judgment, I toddled along like a good citizen who pays their taxes and is on the electoral register and marked my mark, and nothing, like nothing. You know, London voted to stay, but all the home counties are like, bye-bye. So I just wanted to come from a grassroots point of view. I don't have stats and facts and figures, just what has filtered through to me without even trying too hard. Just stuff that the woman on the street would have heard. Today will be the day that Britain will be remembered for leaving the European Union without even having a destination. Like, that's just stupid. No destination, off we go. You know, there are immigrants here who are just like, huh? Like, what's going to happen to me with their children, and what's going to happen? I don't understand what's going on about the Irish passport. If you can enlighten me on that, please let me know in the comments. But there's so much indecision and people are completely unsure of what's going to happen to their life in the coming few years if they're not from the European Union and they've come here to work, or they've come here to escape war, or they're asylum seekers. Just like, what on earth is going to happen? What are they going to do? Just tell everyone to leave? Sorry, you're not from here, you don't have a red passport, off you go. Like, who's going to pay for that? It's just big boys' toys, it's just big boys' toys. But we're not playthings. Today will be the day when Britain will be remembered for the pound plummeting in a matter of minutes of the result coming through to its lowest since 1985. Like, what is that? Is that the start of some kind of new recession? And if the UK goes into a serious financial meltdown, it's going to impact us globally. Today will be remembered for the day that Facebook almost broke with the doom and gloom and the shock of all the Facebook statuses and people like, oh my goodness me, I can't believe it, I'm in shock, what's going to happen now, etc, etc. I haven't seen anyone celebrating on my Facebook timeline, but then I guess like attracts like. I did hear someone on the radio, you know, with this kind of energetic voice like, yes, you know, we're moving forward. Damn fool. Today will be the day when some black people forgot they were black. Forgot that our parents came here as immigrants. Like, what is that? That's all part of the con. I think it's all part of the con. Just like when the coalition got in, working class people were just conned, duped into believing that their neighbours, because they were wearing a turban or a hijab were going to impact their lives and jobs. Just divide and conquer, dividing the minorities, dividing the poor against the poor, dividing the working class against the working class. Today, the UK will be remembered for the day they chopped the country in half. Today, the UK will be remembered for pulling up the drawbridge and saying no more immigrants. Today will be the day where in Britain, racism got real. Racism got real. Kind of like a side note with regards to the UK and the EU referendum, but I was reading a famous comedian's timeline where she had been called racist because she said that the whole EU referendum was predicated on racism and that white people were being sensitive, something like that, and she was getting torn to bits in the comments. And I wrote in the comments that what is this trend that's happening where black people are being accused of being racist? I myself was accused of being racist yesterday on a YouTube video about Oprah Winfrey buying a handbag in Italy and the store not wanting to sell it to her for whatever reason. And I decided that it had something to do with her skin colour, and someone in the comments didn't like that and said that I was being racist. Let me just say this. Racism is about a system of subjugation whereby the ruling collective has the power to negatively and in some cases devastatingly impact the lives of others on the level of nation. Not on the level of discrimination and prejudice between one or two people, but on a level of nation to nation. Africa has a large enough population and wealth enough to be in that position, but it's not. Why? Because it doesn't have the infrastructure. That infrastructure exists in the West, in Europe and in America. That's where the infrastructure for racism exists. It doesn't exist in non-white countries. So it's not possible for people of colour to impact the lives of non-black people in similar ways. So it just seems like a grand opportunity at the moment. We need to look at breaking down the infrastructure of an age-old system that subjugates others. That's where we need to look. Not that black person's racist because they said white people X. No, we need to break down the old order. And rather than face that, fingers are being pointed at, oh, that black person's racist. It's just a trend. And do you know what? For me, it doesn't even touch the side because it doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous. They're a bigger fish to fry. So, you know, people need to go cook. Really though. And I'm cool, you know, I'll help. Ask me for help. It's fine. I'm all about helping to sort that out. You know, I'm not prejudiced in that way, but I'm certainly not racist. I got really passionate there. Stuff got real. I'm vlogging every day in June. There's stuff to talk about. I couldn't step over this. I didn't even check if I'm in frame, so I apologise in advance for that, but it just had to come out when it had to come out. And I'm going to exit swiftly, say feel free to leave whatever comments that you feel you need to in the comments below, and we can continue this conversation. I'm okay with that. But tomorrow, we're back to what we normally see on Living Fruits. As best we can in this climate of indecision and what's going to happen next. Okay, thank you for watching. Please thumbs up and share. Subscribe if you're new to Living Fruits if you still want to and you've got this far, and I will see you next time. And don't forget, like really at this time, don't forget to keep reaching for those good feeling thoughts.